So here we have a pair of Russell and Bromley shoes which have been subjected to water damage. As you can see, it's actually swollen the leather as well. And we are going to show you how we remove this. It's only the one foot that's been damaged, but it is unfortunately all the way around the toe area. And we're going to show you how we'll resolve this, remove this, and make them look as good as new again. So the first step is we're going to start with alcohol cleaner. And we're going to use this to remove all the old waxes and protectors on the surface of the shoe. This will also help us to remove a small amount of colour, because what we need to try to do is to get in here to soften this area here where it's gone stiff, where the water has penetrated the leather. And as you can see, you've got a little bit of the waxes coming off there. Those are the original waxes that would have been used on the shoe to dye this in the first place. Being Russell and Bromley, these are not a pigment painted shoe. These will be a hand dyed item. And this is the first step that we're going to do to remove this swollen effect on the leather where the water ingress has happened. And you can see there that that's going to clearly make them look a little bit different. Once that dries out, you can see how this is drying out, and that will make them look very, very different where the alcohol is working and removing the actual staining on the surface, which is exactly what we need it to do. So let's just give that a little bit of a dry over with the hairdryer, and you'll see the full effect of where the alcohol has been used. As you can see there, you can certainly see the difference there to where the alcohol has been used, how that's affecting that and removing the sort of dark shadowing that it created. The next stage in the process is to lightly sand the area to remove the ridge that was created. We don't want to be doing too much sanding here. This is just a very, very light sand to go over the surface, just to remove the ridge, the immediate ridge on this outside edge here, which is all we need to try to remove, because that's all that needs to be removed. That's all that you can feel. So it's just a very light sand. We're using a 320 paper on this. We're not putting pressure. We're just very lightly sanding that over, just so that we don't feel that ridge. And once it's re-dyed with the hand waxes, you're not going to feel any ridges on the surface of these Russell and Bromley leather shoes. So just keep proceeding. You're doing this very lightly. You're not going at this aggressively. This is just very lightly sanding over the surface, hardly any pressure. You're just trying to remove that immediate ridge, which is virtually gone. This side it's gone. We just got a little bit more work to do here, but that is the next step and exactly what you need to do. So here we are with the Russell and Bromley shoes again. As with any shoes, you know, that you're working on, obviously as you'd have seen when we were working with these, sometimes we had the supports, you know, the shapers in, and sometimes they were out. Obviously, because we've left this, you know, for a little while, we've put the shapers back in to keep, you know, this shape retained, because obviously this was wet when we were doing this with the alcohol. We need to keep that shape retained so that it keeps that in perfect form. So what we're going to do now is we're going to apply the shoe dye on here. As you can see, this one is called Bracken, and that I think is going to be the best sort of bet that we're going to have to achieve, you know, the best sort of colour that we've got here to match with this. So you don't want to go putting a great big dollop on there. You just need a very, very small amount to take all of that off, because this is a pure dye what's going on. So this will dye very, very quickly and very, very easily. So, and just get it on there. And as you can see, that is going to be a pretty good match to the rest of the colour of that shoe. So I mean, that is going to work perfectly. And you know, we just got to make sure that we can get that on there, and you know, nice and evenly and as quickly as you can with the initial coat, because it's going to dye. But that has, you know, done quite a remarkable job already on there. When you start looking at those, they're looking absolutely fantastic. You know, obviously it's a matte finish at the moment, and we need to get them buffed up to give them a little bit of a shine again to match the left-hand shoe. But as a result, I mean, this is looking pretty fantastic straight away. Brilliant result. That is exactly how that you are going to resolve that staining. Get rid of the bad sort of ridge staining that was along here. It created a ridge. Remove that with the sanding process that we did. That is how that you're going to then apply the dye, because this is a pure dye. This is how the shoes would have been dyed originally. It's with the cream like this. Obviously in the factory they'd have used big buffing wheels and things. We're just doing this by hand, and then we're going to buff that up once that's cured. I'll probably put another coat on there, allow it to cure, and then we can get that buffed up. But obviously with the broguing around here and things, it's perfect for, you know, getting that really nicely buffed up and blending away into this part of the shoe. So it's a perfect result. You know, again, the Russell and Bromley shoes, perfectly restored, and that is exactly how you do it. If you have any questions or any tips that you need to know about shoe care, restoring, removing scratches, scuffs and things like that with any type of shoe, whether it's a man's shoe, ladies' shoe, boots, sneakers, trainers, whatever it is you've got, we can help you and we can resolve your issues that you've got with your footwear. Very, very simple. Thanks, guys. If you want to find out more details about products, head on over to the website leatherrepaircompany.com.